When people talk about the first U.S. aircraft, they usually mention one moment, a short flight over sand dunes in 1903. But behind that historic takeoff lies a story full of hidden details, risky experiments, and surprising truths that most people never hear. The pioneers behind the first successful American aircraft were the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. Most assume they were wealthy scientists or government-backed inventors. They weren't. They ran a small bicycle shop. Their daily work fixing chains, gears, and balance systems directly influenced how they designed flight controls. Here's an untold fact. Their bicycle business funded almost the entire early aviation program. No big investors, no university lab, just workshop profits and relentless trial and error. Their breakthrough aircraft, the Wright Flyer, did not come from a sudden genius idea. It was the result of more than 1,000 glider tests and wind experiments. They built their own wind tunnel, a small wooden box with a fan, because they discovered that existing aerodynamic data from respected scientists was actually wrong. Instead of trusting published research, they tested everything themselves. Another little-known truth: the engine in the first aircraft was built in just 6 weeks by their mechanic, Charlie Taylor. No manufacturer would build an engine light enough and powerful enough, so they made one from scratch using aluminum, a rare and expensive material at the time. The propellers were also revolutionary. Most people think propellers are just spinning fans. The brothers realized they are actually rotating wings. They calculated propeller efficiency using math and hand-drawn curves. Modern aerospace engineers later confirmed their propeller design was extremely advanced, even by today's standards. The first flight site wasn't chosen randomly. They selected Kitty Hawk after studying weather data for months. They wanted steady winds, open space, and soft landing ground. They even wrote letters to the U.S. Weather Bureau asking for wind reports before deciding. Here's something rarely mentioned. Their early flights were witnessed by only 5 people. There were no crowds, no press conference, no celebration. One of the greatest breakthroughs in human history happened quietly, with almost no audience. Another untold fact: the first aircraft had no wheels. It launched from a wooden rail using a small trolley. Wheels were considered too heavy. Later models added a catapult system using falling weights to help launch in low-wind conditions. Safety was extremely primitive. There were no seat belts. The pilot lay flat on the wing surface and controlled movement by shifting his hips in a cradle mechanism. One wrong shift could stall the aircraft. The Wright brothers also kept many of their design details secret. Why? Because they were worried about idea theft. Instead of immediately sharing their technology, they focused on patents. This secrecy slowed public adoption but protected their control system design, which became the foundation of all modern aircraft steering. Many people don't know that their first few powered flights were actually difficult to repeat. The aircraft was so sensitive that only trained handling could keep it stable. Early replicas built by others often failed because they didn't understand the control technique. Another surprising detail: governments didn't rush to support them. The U.S. military initially showed little interest. The brothers had to demonstrate improved models years later before serious contracts appeared. Weather nearly erased their achievement. After the final flight on the historic day, a strong gust flipped and heavily damaged the aircraft. If that gust had struck earlier, history's first flight might have been delayed or never recorded properly. Photography almost didn't capture the moment either. The famous first flight photo was taken by a local life-saving station worker using the brothers' camera, with quick instructions seconds before takeoff. One mistake, and there would be no visual proof. Even after success, public belief came slowly. Some newspapers called their claims exaggerated. A few scientists openly doubted them. It took repeated demonstrations and longer flights before the world accepted powered flight was real. One more hidden fact: their control system mattered more than their engine. Many inventors had built powered machines before them, but they failed because they couldn't control roll, pitch, and yaw together. The Wright brothers solved control first, power second. That order changed aviation forever. From that fragile wood and fabric machine came everything that followed: passenger jets, military aircraft, helicopters, and spacecraft guidance systems. Modern flight control theory still traces back to their three-axis control concept.